You tell me. S sound. Ah, thank you. Asthma. Okay. I wasn't sure. It's always fun trying to guess the pronunciation of so many names. Yeah, right. It sounds like asthma, right? Asthma. Yeah. But again, do you know how many English names are like that? Many English names sound like other things. My name is Mark. Am I a name or am I something on the page? Right. So many English names are, something else. So many things that I never do. All right, everyone, let the games begin. You begin learning when you begin asking questions. Foul whisperings are abroad. Unnatural deeds do breed unnatural troubles. Infected minds to their deaf pillows will discharge their secrets. More needs she the divine than the physician. God forgive us all. Look after her. Remove her from the means of all annoyance, and still keep eyes upon her. So good night. My mind she has mated and amazed my sight, I think, but dare not speak. Macbeth. But see, Shakespeare is always good to study, but not for language, but for history, for psychology, for sociology, for understanding human behavior. Shakespeare was very good about writing things that reflect human behavior. Ruslan, hello Ruslan. How are you, my friend? Good to see you. Hello, Dora Lisa. Like Hamlet and King Lear, yeah. Yeah, Hamlet's one of my favorites, but there's a speech from Henry V that's actually my favorite soliloquy from Shakespeare. If you've never seen it, there's a movie for Henry V, the movie version with Kenneth Branagh. It's quite good, I think. It's quite good. Are we done with the etymology of words? No. Of course we're not done. No, there are thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of words. We've only talked about a couple hundred, maybe. You were booted out of HelloTalk because it's incompatible with your device's new version. Ruslan, what kind of phone do you have? Or, oh, you mean you updated. So what did you update? Because maybe they need to know that. Did you tell HelloTalk? You should tell HelloTalk if you're having trouble, so that they can fix it. What's the difference between pasta and spaghetti? Larry, China has many, many kinds of noodles, right? And some noodles are thin, and some noodles are wide, and some noodles are thick, and some noodles are this shape, and some noodles are that shape, right? So there are many kinds of noodles. Pasta is the word that means noodles, mian, okay? But spaghetti is one kind of pasta. There are many, dozens of kinds of pasta, different shapes and sizes. So spaghetti is the most common one. It's a very long, pretty thin noodle. Okay, it's a fairly long, thin noodle. That's spaghetti. But there's also vermicelli, which is just like spaghetti, but thinner. And there's angel hair pasta, which is just like spaghetti, but even thinner. And then there's fettuccine and linguine and many other kinds of pasta. Okay, so there are many, many kinds of pasta. Yes, all the noodles can be called pasta. That's right. Yeah, so in Chinese, you say Itali mian. And whenever you say that, usually you're talking about spaghetti, from what I've seen. But 就是一种意大利面，意大利面有很多种。Okay? There are many kinds. That's a good question. That's a good question. Shakespeare's language is English, but not really. Shakespearean English is not like modern English at all. Shakespearean English is very different. So that's why I told everybody, if you study Shakespeare, don't study Shakespeare for the words. Study Shakespeare for the perspective. Okay, so perspective means your view. Wow, after reading this, my view has changed, right? Because now I understand something. So it's not about the language for Shakespeare. We're not talking about the English in most cases. We're just talking about, wow, that story had a great message. Okay? Can I recommend a few YouTube channels? I can't really, because I don't watch YouTube very much at all. So I don't know any YouTube channels, really. I don't know too many. There's one called The Moth Radio Hour. That's a fun one. Sometimes you can watch that. There's one, the TED Talks. I watch TED Talks. I watch the Moth Radio Hour. Moth, M-O-T-H. M-O-T-H, Moth. Let's see. This American Life. So I can't recommend YouTube channels very much because I don't watch YouTube channels, but I do listen to a lot of podcasts. So I can tell you about podcasts. And some of the podcasts have a video podcast, right? So sometimes it's a video podcast. This American Life is a good one. It's a very interesting one. It's all about different American people. Americans are all kinds of people, and if you want to see, then listen to this show. You'll see that when you say Americans are all like this, if you listen to this show, you'll see that's not true. Americans, that is the one thing that is very weird about this country, is there is no one kind of person here. I mean, that's true everywhere, but especially here. Okay, we are, what's the best way to say this? Our continuity is in our incontinuity. So what makes us the same is that we're all different. It's a paradox. It's a paradox. What's the difference between idealistic and optimistic? I think I would say in most cases those are pretty interchangeable. Let me check something. So the big difference, I would say, would be an idealist wants everything to be ideal. Ideal means the perfect version of that thing. This is ideal. That means, wow, this is just right. We don't need to change anything. It's ideal, just the way it is. Okay? So if something is ideal, then it's pretty much a perfect world based on your idea of a perfect world. That's idealistic. Optimistic is just more positive, that you hope things will go well. Okay, so idealist, if someone says you're an idealist, that means, look, I'm an idealist. I am an idealist, but I'm also a pessimist. It's kind of funny. So I'm an idealist because I think that things would be much better if we did this, right? Education should be the way that I'm teaching now, not the way that schools do it. This is an idealist. Okay, an idealist is saying that the way you're doing it is not ideal. Let me show you a better way that's more ideal. Okay? To be optimistic is just more like, I think we want to go to the park. We want to go to the park tomorrow, but it might rain. But I think it won't. I'm optimistic. I'm going to be optimistic and I'm going to say I think it won't rain. Okay? Or you have to take a test and someone says, don't be pessimistic, be optimistic. And that means when you go take a test, you should say, I'm going to do great. I'm going to do great. Because if you tell yourself that you're going to do great, you might. If you tell yourself you're going to do poorly, you might. Okay, so being optimistic is to be positive about a situation. Being idealistic is to see a situation and say, this is not good, this way would be much better and would be perfect. That's ideal. Okay? Carlos, I don't know where you have been, Carlos, but I have been here, man. I have been here. I was here yesterday. Are you not getting the notifications? Is idealist can be an impeccable thing. Kind of. Okay, yeah. An idealist means that this thing is perfect in that way. It's ideal. It doesn't need to be changed or fixed. Okay? If a native speaker says a joke which I don't understand, what do I do? Because asking native speakers without context sometimes doesn't work. Larry, if a native speaker says a joke that you don't understand, then you know what you do. You say, I'm sorry, I don't understand. It's okay, Larry. Okay, it's okay. I don't understand many Chinese jokes until they explain them to me. All right? So, Larry, you don't ask because you're worried about being embarrassed. And the only thing that you should be embarrassed about is not asking. You should be embarrassed if you're too afraid to ask. That is something to be embarrassed about. You're too shy to learn? That is embarrassing. If you're too shy because, oh, people are going to laugh at me, that is the embarrassing thing. Why do you care about that? That's the embarrassing thing. Okay? So don't worry about them laughing at you. Just ask, man. Say, hey, that sounds like it's probably very funny, but I don't understand it. Can you explain it to me? Okay, and you're right, Larry. Sometimes when you explain a joke, it does kind of ruin the joke, right? Because you're kind of that it's just how jokes work. Okay, but that's all right, man. They know you're learning. They know you don't know. It's okay. So it's always better to say I don't know than to pretend like you do. Let me say that again. It's always better to say, I don't know, or I don't understand, than it is to pretend like you do know, or like you do understand. Okay? Do I feel comfortable about the world we're living in now being ruled by AI? Well, I don't think it is ruled by AI yet, but to be honest with you, I probably would be as comfortable or more comfortable with AI. If AI were running the world, I think I would be just about as comfortable, because right now, the people who are running the world, they don't care about other humans either. So the rich people who run the world, if I have to choose between the rich people who run the world and AI, I'm going to choose AI. Because I know I can't trust the rich people. I'm not sure about the AI, but I know I can't trust them. North American English is an immigrant language that was brought by European immigrants back then. Yes, Sergey. However, North American English is not derived from Shakespearean English. Shakespearean English is a little bit different than that. Okay? It predates that by a bit. Okay? So I understand your point that they are related by history, but they're not related enough. They're distant cousins at this point. Okay, so if you try to compare, put it this way, Sergey, if you go on my moments, let me see if I can find that page. 1,000 years ago, English didn't sound like English. If you heard English, you wouldn't understand anything. Okay? Let me see if I can show that to you. I have to find that post. Let me see. I think it'll be easier if I just search my moments. Here it is. Look at this, okay, and listen.
Adir ure, thuth ert on helvanum, si thin nama je halroð, tobe come thin riche, je werde thin willa on ervan swaswa on helvanum, ure father in heaven.
Did you understand that? That's English. Yeah, that's English. That's English from 1,000 years ago. Okay? That's English from 1,000 years ago. That's right. English has changed a lot. Okay? So if you went back 1,000 years ago to England, nobody would understand you, and you would not understand anybody. Okay? English is completely different now. Okay? Yes, that's English. It's on my moments. If you go to my moments, you can find this moment and watch it. Because what he does, he says the Lord's Prayer, right? The Lord's Prayer is the Our Father who art in heaven, right? That prayer that we say in Christianity, right? Or people say in Christianity, right? And he says it many times, and he shows you how English has changed over time with that prayer, okay? And yeah, that's a great content creator. I like that guy. All right. Let's see. What if I hear a joke in a movie or YouTube video? Larry, if you hear a joke in a movie or YouTube video, now you can ask DeepSeek, you can ask ChatGPT, you can try to ask AI. Yeah. You know, it won't always understand. But Larry, jokes are hard to understand sometimes because jokes are fast and you need to be very witty. And wit, W-I-T, it means a quick intelligence. Okay? It's intelligence, but it's not just intelligence, it's quick intelligence. So that means that you hear words and boom, you understand many meanings. If this is a new language for you, then comedy is going to be very hard because comedy requires wit. Quick understanding. Okay? So everybody, if you don't know who I am and you want to know who I am and what I do and what's my schedule and all that good stuff, please get this file. This file right here, the file that I just put in the chat, that is my PDF file that I made for you because you don't know who I am. So, if you read that file, you will know who I am. My schedule is in that file. My background is in that file. My YouTube channel is in that file. My website is in that file. My blog is in that file. Okay? I gave 4 free articles about learning English. My best articles. The most important tips that I can give you. I gave them to you in that file. Okay? So please get that file and read it. Now, If you click the link, it won't work. Copy it and paste it. Copy it and paste it, and it will work. Okay? Which country's time zone? What, was I talking about a time zone? What are we talking about? I'm confused. Right. So, go get my file. But 星期一到星期五，大概9点跟10点，在美国就是早上，在中国就是晚上。OK， 晚上的。听得懂吗？ Okay? About 9 or 10 in the evening in China. Can I say this way is ponderous to study the same when I say this way is massive? No. Massive means really big. If something is massive, it has great mass. So, if something is massive, it's huge. It's enormous. It's a massive building. It's a massive mountain. Okay? But the word ponderous means to ponder. To ponder is a word that means to think about or contemplate something. So if something is ponderous, it's something that you have to think about. Okay? Indian accent is difficult for you. Okay, well, Indian accent is difficult for most people. Don't try to start with accents, everybody. I'm sorry, but listen. If you are learning a new language, then you cannot listen to people who are not from that place. Okay? So, Miles, if I want to learn Chinese, should I learn Chinese from an Indian person? Should I listen to Chinese from Indian people? Is that what I should do? No! If you are learning a language, then you have to listen to the people who speak that language as their first language. Okay? Later, you can worry about people who speak English from India. You can worry about people who speak English from South America. You can worry about people who speak English from Europe. Later. But in the beginning, you have to worry about just the accents that are from this country, from the native region. Okay? Now, if you use English in your job, this happens a lot. That's why people have to talk to Indian people a lot, is work, right? There are many people who work in India and they use English on the phone to do some kind of work, right? If you do that, see your Indian colleagues. Okay, so listen to me, Miles. This is why I'm telling you this. Record your calls. If you use English at work and English is not your first language, then you should tell your client, tell your customers, I'm going to record our calls for 2 reasons. Okay? I'm going to record our calls for 2 reasons. One reason is because English is not my first language. So I need to record this because maybe there will be a problem. Maybe there will be a miscommunication. And if I have a recording, then you'll understand what happened. You can figure it out. But if you don't have a recording, then you don't know what happened. Okay, so that's one reason. The second reason, Miles, is because if you're listening to that person every day, right? You're listening to Jagmeet every day from India, okay? So now you have a recording of Jagmeet, not just some Indian guy. No, you're recording your customer, his voice, and you can listen to it again and again so that you can get comfortable with his voice. Okay? And Mile, I want to suggest that you add an S to the end of your name. Okay? Because Mile is not really an English name, but Miles is an English name, and it's a great English name. So add an S to the end of your name, and you can be Miles, just like the great jazz trumpet player Miles Davis. Okay. Hello, everyone. How to pronounce the word comfortable. So comfortable has two pronunciations, in my opinion, okay? One is comfortable with 3 syllables, and one is comfortable with 4. And you will hear both. Doesn't matter. Nobody cares. All right? Comfortable, comfortable. Both are fine. Okay? But in America, you'll have different English accents as well. We do, Bob, you're right. In America, there are about 30 different accents. But also, Bob, in my opinion, you should start with this one, okay? The one I have, this accent, this is called the Mid-Ohio accent or Central Ohio accent. And my accent is probably the easiest to understand and the most clear and neutral of all of the American accents, okay? So yes, we have many accents, but you should start with this one, okay? Just like in British English, they have at least 50 or 60 different accents in England, in the UK, right? But if you're learning British English, you start with one, okay? Either RP, received pronunciation, the King's English, right? Okay? You made a friend on Hello Talk. He teaches you American English and he's helped you a great deal. Okay, good. And Miles, I have been on Hello Talk for 12 years and I have about 90,000 followers who I have helped. Whom I have helped. Okay, I am an English teacher. Okay, that's one thing that's different from compared to me. If you're comparing me to other people on Hello Talk, most of the people on Hello Talk are just people, and that's fine. They can be helpful sometimes too, but I'm an actual teacher. Okay? He's from New York, and he's been teaching you the American pronunciation for nearly a year. So it depends on where he is from in New York, but some people in New York have a fairly simple accent, almost like mine. But many people in New York, if you're from Brooklyn or you're from Queens, then you have an accent that's a special accent. Okay? Is mine a Middle West accent? Kind of, yeah. Bob, I live in Ohio. So if you look at a map of America, then Ohio is not in the west of America. It's kind of in the Middle East of America, the Middle Eastern part, okay? But there's a really funny thing about America. In America, we never, ever, ever talk about the Middle East. So pretty much we have the East Coast and we have the West Coast. And then everything in between is pretty much the Midwest. All right? I mean, in the middle. Then we also have the South and the North. But Ohio is definitely in the eastern part of the country, but we call it a Midwestern accent. Okay? It's kind of a funny thing. We have to follow the American middle accent, but how can I find it? Again, it's this one. Listen to me. Okay? Do I think watching American TV shows helps with learning English? Does shadowing make you speak more naturally? Okay, those are two questions. Let's start with shadowing. Shadowing is wonderful. Shadowing is great. What is shadowing, everybody? Shadowing means you find somebody who is great. You find somebody great, and then you watch them, and you study them to figure out, why are they so great? Watch that person speak, and then think, why are they so great? Is it their pronunciation? Is it their vocabulary? Is it their grammar? Is it their diction? Is it their body language? What makes them so great? That's shadowing. But the first thing I said was, find someone great and shadow them. That's the one thing that most people don't do. You go on TikTok or you go on YouTube and you just find some guy or some girl and you shadow them. No! No! Don't just shadow some guy or some girl. Find someone great and shadow them. If you shadow someone bad, then you're learning bad things. If you shadow something great, you'll learn great things. Okay, so that's step one, talking about shadowing. Part two, you're talking about watching TV. Can watching TV help you with your English? It can, if you do it the right way. So what's the right way? One, you have to choose a show that has value. Okay, there are some shows... Actually, no, let's start over. The first thing you need to do, if you're watching TV or movies or listening to music for learning English, then you need to understand, when you watch TV for learning English, this is not fun time. When you watch a movie for learning English, this is not fun time. When you listen to music for learning English, this is not fun time. If you want to watch TV for fun, great. Do that another time. But when you watch TV for learning, that's not the same thing as watching for fun. Okay, so they are two different things. And you need to understand that, because you don't understand that. Many people, you tell me, oh, how can I watch TV to learn English? And the reason you want to watch TV is because you don't want to learn. You don't want to try. So you think, oh, I'll just watch TV. That'll be fun. No. If you watch a TV show like Modern Family, fine. Modern Family's fine. There's nothing wrong with that show. I think it's fine. You watch the show many times. That's right. One show many times. Now, why is Modern Family okay? Because Modern Family is about family. It's about work. It's about friends. It's about relationships. It's about real life stuff. Okay? Now, I remember one time I talked about this show, and some people said, I don't like that show because of this or because of that. Fine. You don't have to like that show. Okay? And I remember one person said, I don't like that show because it's not a Modern Family. And I said, yeah, it is. It's one Modern Family. There are millions of them. Just because that is one doesn't mean it represents all of them. It's just one. Okay? So, choose a show that the content is useful. It's about family, it's about friends, it's about work, it's about relationships. Okay? The Simpsons is good, but the problem with The Simpsons is The Simpsons, some of the voices are too exaggerated for comedy, and because it's a comic, it's a cartoon, you can't see the lips of the people speaking, so you can't really benefit from that. So sometimes cartoons are good for learning, but sometimes they're not. Okay? So, step 1, choose the right content. Step 2, you need to get the transcript. Get the transcript. Every American TV show, movie, and podcast has a free transcript online. All you have to do is find it and download it. What's a transcript, Teacher Mark? It's the subtitles, but it's not the subtitles because subtitles are on the TV. The subtitles on the TV can't really help you because they're on the TV. You can't make notes on the TV. You can't circle the words on the TV. But if you print out the transcript is all the words from the show on paper. And now you can watch the show or movie and read it while you watch. And then if they say something you like, you can circle it. If they say something you don't know, you can look it up. So if you're watching TV and you don't have the transcript, then you are not really learning. You're just watching TV. Okay, but if you get the transcript, then I suggest choose a TV show like a 30-minute TV show, and then I want you to watch that one episode 5 times. I want you to watch it 5 times. Okay, listen. The first time you watch it, don't use any help. Nothing. Just watch and listen and try to understand with no help. The second time you watch it, you can turn on the subtitles. Okay, turn the subtitles on and watch it and read the subtitles on the screen. The third time you watch it, get the transcript and watch it with the transcript and make notes. The fourth time you watch it, you can watch it with just the subtitles again. Only the subtitles on the TV. And then the 5th time you watch it, again with no help. And see if you've learned. See if you've made any improvements. Okay, so first time, no help. Second time, subtitles. Third time, transcript. Fourth time, subtitles. 5th time, no help. Okay? Okay. You had me at something. Yeah, that's a fun phrase. If someone invites you to do something, right? They invite you and they say, hey, do you want to come with us to the mountains this weekend to go fishing? There's going to be beer and we're going to have lots of barbecue. You could say, you had me at beer. Or you had me at barbecue. And that means all you had to say was barbecue and I'm coming. Or all you had to say was beer and I'm coming. Okay? You bought a Modern Family book. It contains the transcripts and translations. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Without any subtitles, I can understand the American accent fully, but it's hard for me to create the structured sentences while talking. Jay? Be more simple. Let me teach you a wonderful phrase in English, Jay. K-I-S KISS. Would someone like to tell Jay what KISS means? What does KISS mean? Anyone? No, doesn't mean to kill something. No. KISS, it means keep it simple, stupid. This is great advice that my teacher told me many years ago. Sometimes you're making it too hard. Sometimes you're making it too difficult. Keep it simple, dummy. Keep it simple, stupid. Okay? So, what I'm telling you is, Jay, you're trying to make complicated sentences, and that's why you can't. But, Jay, every complicated sentence is just a bunch of simple sentences put together. So start with simple things, and then learn how to connect them together. All right? Keep it simple, stupid. Don't try so hard. Okay? What's the difference between kiss and case? K, A, 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 I, 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 A, A, I, I, I. Miles, one of the biggest problems that Chinese people have is Chinese is a small mouth language. American English is a big mouth language. So when I speak Chinese, I make my mouth smaller. And when you speak English, you need to make your mouth bigger. And the reason that you can't pronounce things well is because if your mouth is only open like this, then everything sounds the same because they're all too close. But when you say that's da de cui, da, big, hen, very big, right? Short a, e, short e is middle. Look, a, I, dada, jongda, shouda. Okay? If you make your mouth bigger, then they sound different. You can make them sound different. But if your mouth is not big enough, then they all sound the same. Okay? Mouth position is how we make pronunciation. So, for example, David, in Chinese, when you take a picture, what do people say when you take a picture in Chinese? 戒指，对不对？对，戒指，戒指，戒指 right? 为什么就是戒指？戒，戒 Look, oh, you're smiling. And what do we say in English? What do we say in English? We say cheese. 茄子, cheese. Because it's the same position. Okay? So in America, we say cheese. In China, they say 茄子, which is eggplant. And yes, I speak Chinese. I speak terrible Chinese. Oh. Everybody, when I teach here, I want you to speak like an actor. I want you to speak like an actor. Now, I don't mean like a Hollywood actor. I'm not talking about Brad Pitt. No. I mean, I want you to speak like you're a stage actor. Like you're a stage actor on stage performing a play. Okay? Now, why do I want you to speak like that? Why do I want that? Because if you speak like an actor, then people will understand you. Because actors, many years ago, if you gave a performance, there were no microphones. There were no microphones. So let's say your grandmother comes to see you. Your grandmother wants to see you perform. But she got a ticket in the back of the room. So she's way in the back of the room. So if you go on stage and grandma came to see you and you say, "Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo?" Grandma is not going to hear you. But if you say, "Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo?" Grandma will hear you. Okay? So I want you to speak like this, because if you speak like this, everyone will understand you. Everyone will hear you. Okay? Is there a chance you can connect? So Miles, yes, sometimes I bring people on stage if they have a question. You must have a question, though, okay? Sometimes people come on my stage and they just say, "Hey, what's up? How are you?" And I don't have time for chit-chat. If you want to come on my stage, then you have to have a question. There are 84 people in this room right now. So you have to have something that's valuable for everybody, not just you. Okay? But yes, I do invite people on the stage sometimes, but I try to answer most of the questions in the chat because it's much easier for me to help everybody. Okay? If I put one person on stage, then I'm only focused on one person. Okay? You're confused about could and would. I can explain the difference, but there is a wonderful page that I can give you that does a better job. Wait a minute. I can't find it. Try this one. Yeah, this one's good. Go to this website. Go to that website, and that has a wonderful explanation about could, would, and should. And it explains everything with examples clearly. Okay? I won't explain it myself because it will take too long. But that website has a great explanation. You'll be fine. Okay? What's the difference between pressure and shield? Very different. Miles, shield can be a verb or a noun. A shield, for example, a long time ago, they used to have knights, and the knight had a sword and a shield, right? So, or I should say the shield was over here if you're right-handed. So his sword was in his right hand, and he would hit you with the sword, right? So he would hit you with the sharp sword. And then over here, he had a big shield that he could block. If you tried to hit him, he would block your hit with his shield. So the word shield can be a noun that means the thing that you use to block a hit. That is a shield. As a verb, it means the same thing. To block a hit means to shield something. Okay, so to block something from being hit is to shield something. Okay, now the word pressure is a much different meaning. Pressure is the force that is pushed upon something from the outside to the in, or from the inside to the out. Okay, so pressure can be a real thing or it can be a feeling. So, for example, pressure in science, there's something called PSI. It means it measures how much pressure something is under, how many pounds of pressure something is feeling, okay? But pressure can also be just a feeling, like, I have a big test this weekend. I have a big test. I feel a lot of pressure. So pressure can mean a feeling of stress, or it can mean physical stress of force, okay? What's the difference between in and into? Sometimes nothing, okay? I'm going in the store, I'm going into the store, same thing, okay? So in sometimes means a static position. That means you're not moving, right? I am in the store. I am in the store means I am inside, but I am not moving. I'm going into the store means that you are moving from one position to another. Okay? So in could be into sometimes. Like I'm going in, I'm going into. Same thing. But sometimes in is already staying still. You're inside. You are in. Okay? So in sometimes means inside, static, not moving. Into means you're moving into something. Okay? Toward something. What's the difference between should and supposed to? Nothing. Chabadori dolka ishor. You should study more. You're supposed to study more. The only thing I would say is different is, let me see. Let me check something. Should is usually for things that we suggest or advise, right? You should do this, you shouldn't do that. I advise you to do something. Those are shoulds and shouldn'ts. But supposed to is more like you already have a rule. There's a rule on the board, right? So maybe if you're in my classroom, then you're supposed to have a pencil with you every day. That's a rule in my room. You're supposed to have a pencil with you every day. So, you should have a pencil, but you're supposed to have a pencil. They're the same, but they're different. Okay? One is I am advising you to have a pencil. One is there's a rule. Okay? The other is there's a rule, right? So, supposed to is more like there's a rule that you're supposed to follow. Should is more like someone told you some advice or suggestion that you should follow. Okay, so they're very similar, but not quite the same. You have some problems with grammar, sentence structure, and word choice. Okay, so Sandes, if you have problems with grammar, then you need to work on your grammar. And the best way for you to do that is with this book. Wait a minute. This is my favorite grammar book. Okay? It has book 1 right there. And book 2 right here. Oh, no, wait. Well, you can search for book 2 online. But it's the same as this, right? Just look for that, but Basic English Grammar 2. Okay? And I have many grammar books. I have 50 or 60 or 70 grammar books, but this is my favorite one because it's much, much more easy to understand. Okay? So go get that book. And the other thing I will tell you, Sandes, is life is not a grammar test. Life is not a grammar test. So what if your grammar is not quite right? Just speak. Your grammar will get better if you speak and make mistakes, and then you'll learn what's right. But if you never make mistakes, then you are not learning. So please, go speak and make some mistakes and then learn from them so that you can improve. So maybe the problem is you're not improving because you're not making enough mistakes, so you can't improve. Okay? There we go. Yes, sword and shield. Thank you. Yes. Good. And yes, in my YouTube, there is a delay of, YouTube has a delay of, I don't know, a minute or something like that. Tell them my opinion about grammar. My opinion is I hate grammar. I think grammar is boring. But here's what I say about grammar. Let me tell you two pieces of advice about grammar. One, life is not a grammar test. So, if you're not taking a test, right? If you're not taking the IELTS and you're not taking the TOEFL, then grammar is not that important. If you are taking the IELTS or the TOEFL, the grammar is very important. If you're in school, then grammar is very important. If you have a job that uses English, then grammar is probably very important. But if you're just talking to your friends, then no, grammar is not that important. And if you make a mistake, that's okay. You will learn. Please, make mistakes so that you can learn. All right? I am a teacher. This is the first teacher that you have ever met who will tell you that the one who's making the most mistakes is the one who's learning the most. So make more mistakes. Okay? Oh. Hello, Maria. In and into. Isma. In is not moving. I am in this room. I am in this room. I'm not moving. Okay? But if I go to another room, then I moved into another room. Okay? If I go in the bathroom, now I'm moving into. Into means you're moving. In doesn't necessarily mean you're moving. Right now, I am in the room. If I say I'm going in, now I'm moving. So going in and into are close to the same. But in, by itself, just means in. I am in the room. Okay? I'm not moving. If I say I'm going into the room, now I'm moving. Okay? Your child is 3 now and you want to start English. Okay, so Miles, please listen. Many people tell me this. Many people ask me about this. If your child is under the age of 5 or 6 years old, you don't teach them anything. Do not teach a 3-year-old. Do not teach a 4-year-old. What you can do is let them learn. Letting them learn is not the same as teaching them. So when I say let them learn, I mean if you have a 3-year-old and you want them to learn English, then put English around them. English cartoons, English TV shows, English books. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday in your house, speak English. So if you want your child to start learning English, then you have to make an English environment for them where they see that English is important. But if you just say, every day I'm going to teach you English for 30 minutes, no. All you will do is make them hate learning. Just because you want them to learn does not mean that they should. Your desire for your child is not the most important thing. Their learning is the most important thing. So I am telling you that if you have a child who's 3 years old, you don't teach that child. No. You just present English around them all the time so that they see, wow, look, I guess I'm supposed to learn this because everybody's doing it. Okay? And Sunday says, because I have no one to improve my English with in daily life. So, Sundays, this is why people watch me. Because sometimes they hear me speak Chinese and they say, wow, your Chinese is pretty good. But guess what? I live in the United States. So how do I practice my Chinese every day? I do. I practice my Chinese every day. But I don't speak very much. I practice by thinking. Language begins in the mind. And if you're never practicing English in your mind, you're never going to be good at English. If you never have English in your mind, you will never be good. I'm sorry. If English doesn't live here, it will never live here. Okay? So, Sandes, when you say English should be practiced all the time, it can be practiced all the time. All you have to do is wake up in the morning and think about your day in English. What do I need to do today? Oh, I need to go to the store to buy some milk and bread. Oh, I need to go to the bank to make a deposit. Oh, I need to call my aunt and wish her a happy birthday. Okay? So, if you want to practice your language all the time, you don't need to speak it or read it or write it or listen to it, technically. It's better if you do all of them, okay? But what I'm trying to tell you is the most important one to start with is thinking, okay? Francesco says, people said learning English without grammar. How is that possible? You don't. You do need grammar, Francesco. Every American does learn grammar. We learn it. We just can't teach it. I can because I'm a teacher now. But when I learned grammar in school, I learned it so that I could use it, but I couldn't explain it to anyone. Okay, so most Americans, we all learned it, but we can't really explain it. Okay, unless you're a teacher, then you can. All right? And I forgot to tell you a very important point about grammar. Please listen. I hate grammar because grammar is boring and grammar is difficult. So I want to ask you a question. Why is grammar boring and why is grammar so difficult? Couldn't they make it easier? Couldn't they make grammar easier? They could, but they don't. Why do they make grammar difficult? No, grammar is needed for everything. Grammar is needed for every single thing you do. So listen to me, everybody. This is very, very important. Grammar is in every language, right? Grammar is in every language. And grammar is kind of difficult in every language, right? Even in Chinese grammar is pretty easy, but it's still, they have grammar. It's something you have to learn, right? Let me ask you this question. Who are the most powerful people in your community? Rasha says the ones with the money. And yeah, that's true, but that's not really... Even money, though, if you have a lot of money, you still need to be able to do something with it, right? So listen. Grammar is difficult because they don't want you to have the power of language. Let me say that again. Grammar is difficult because they don't want you to have great power. So they make it hard. Language is magic. Language is magic. And if everybody has magic, then everybody has power. So they make language difficult because they don't want everyone to have power. So that's why you should study grammar. That's why you should learn it. Because it's hard on purpose. They want you to be weak. So they make it hard for you. Because they don't want you to have the power that I have. Look at the power that I have right now. 100 people are watching me and listening to my words. That's magic. People listen to me because of my words. That's magic. All right? I really dare to say that. Do I dare to say what? That they don't want you to have the power? Yeah, I say that. Of course I say that. It's been true for thousands of years. For thousands of years, they have made language difficult because they did not want everybody to have that power. So think about it. 2,000 years ago, how many people could read and write? "2,000 years ago, how many people could read and write? Not many. Very few. So the word grammar The original meaning of the word grammar, do you know this? The meaning of the word, originally, it means secret knowledge. That's the word grammar. It means secret knowledge. Why? Because 2,000 years ago, only a few people could read or write. So that was secret knowledge. Okay? And guess what? We have another word. You guys know the word grammar, and grammar looks like that. But there is another word. Grimoire. Grimoire is a very uncommon word. It's a word that you might see in like Harry Potter or some other magic story. A grimoire is a book of magic. It's a magic book. Okay? The word grimoire is a magic book. Guess what? The word grimoire is related to the word grammar. They are related because if you see a book and it's written with a bunch of things that you can't understand, then what does that look like to you? If you see a book that you can't read, what does that look like to you? It looks like magic. Right? So, the word grammar and the word grimoire are related. Because grammar is something magical. Okay? So I hate grammar. I hate it so much. But I do understand the power of grammar. And I understand that because I have great grammar, I have great power. Okay? Have you guys ever heard the words abracadabra? Have you ever heard the words abracadabra? Do you know that? Abracadabra. Have you heard that before? Yeah? So guess what? That's real. The words abracadabra originally come from a very old language called Aramaic. Aramaic is the language of Jesus Christ. Okay, that was a very old language. All right? And in Aramaic, the words abracadabra was avracadabra. Avracadabra. And the meaning is, as I speak, I become. Let me make sure that's right. I think that's right, but let me check. I create as I speak. That's what it is. I create as I speak. That's what it means. And they used to write this above their door. They would write the words abracadabra above their door of their house like a blessing. And what does this blessing mean? It means talk is cheap. Anybody can say something. But if you say it and you do it, that's magic. If you say something and you follow through and you do it, that's magic. Abracadabra. I create as I speak. Okay? I consider the first, it's about thinking and speaking fast and correctly. The second one, it's about saying the words correctly and with their notice. Milord, I'm not sure what you're asking about. I'm not sure what you're asking about, milord. Can you try to ask me again? It was to heal sick people, yes. But again, the words, they had many meanings. The words really, it just meant I believe. It meant, I believe I can make it become true. So the words are basically like, if you say it, it can happen. It's like the intention of purpose. It's the intention of purpose. Oh, you were answering someone else. Oh, okay. I see. What's the difference between fluency and pronunciation and accent? So, pronunciation is the basics of the language. A-E-I-O-U, a-e-i-o-u. Accent is about how language changes depending on where you live, right? So in the United States, we have 30 different accents. So most people sound like me around here, okay? But if you go to Chicago, they'll sound different. If you go to Georgia, they will sound different. So language, the further language goes outward, it changes. It has variation. It has variation of sound, okay? So accent is the regional variation of sound. Fluency is a word that doesn't really mean anything. Everybody says this word, but it doesn't have a good definition. Everybody says, I want to be fluent, but you can't define it. Define fluency for me. How many vocabulary words do you need to know to be fluent? How much grammar do you need to know to be fluent? Does your accent have to be perfect to be fluent? So the word fluent, I hate this word. I never use this word because it doesn't really have value. If you can't define it, then you can't achieve it. If you can't define it, then you can't achieve it. Okay? So, when you say fluency, I know what you mean, and the word that you're looking for is not fluent. No, the word that you're looking for is comfortable. Are you comfortable with the language? That's the fluency that you want. Fluent means you don't get nervous. That's all it means. It means that when someone speaks to you, you say what you need to say. You don't go, I can't speak. I'm too nervous. Okay? So, fluency just means being comfortable with the language. Okay? Okay, Ahmed, I am giving advice to everyone, Ahmed. There are 90 people here. If you have a question, ask me. Okay, Ahmed? Everybody is asking me their questions. Go ahead and ask me. I really mean this, everybody, when I tell you that I am here because I want you to have more power in your life. I want you to have more power. And you can have more power if you can say things in a way that's powerful. Okay? Ahmed, I think you are new, right? You must be new. So if you are new, then you need to get this file. Everybody who is new, get this file, the file that I just put in the chat. Copy that link and paste it to your browser, and then you'll learn everything about me. Who is this guy? Is he a teacher? Open the file. What's this guy's schedule? Open the file. Does he have a YouTube channel? It's in the file. Does he have a website? It's in the file. Does he have a blog? It's in the file. What are we doing here? It's in the file. Okay? 90,000 people follow me here on Hello Talk. Okay? I'm not saying that to brag. I am saying that because I just don't like to explain why you should follow me anymore. Okay? So I tell you that 90,000 people follow me because why would they follow me unless it were valuable? So come here and watch and learn and ask good questions and get my file. Did you get the file? Get the file, get the file, get the file. Okay? Get the file. Is there any amplification of hello? I don't know what you mean. Asman? And Ahmed, many people practice every day. But if you practice riding a bicycle backwards every day, are you going to learn well? If you practice riding a bicycle backwards, is that good practice? Why is the teacher scolding us? I'm scolding you because I care. I'm scolding you because I care. Okay, again, please, everybody, listen to me. I have been on Hello Talk for more than 12 years. I have more than 90,000 followers here. I am a real English teacher. I have been teaching English since 2009. Okay? And I'm one of the most popular accounts on Hello Talk. All right? I will yell at you sometimes. Yes, I will yell at you. Of course I will. Because I'm a teacher, and that's what teachers do. Every great teacher that I have ever had has yelled at me. Every great teacher I've ever had has yelled at me. Okay? I love them for it. I love them for it. Thank you so much for yelling at me. Thank you for caring. Thank you, teachers. I appreciate your caring for me and my education. Okay? So, if you are new and you are coming here for the first time and you have questions like, how can I speak English better? Get the file. 1, get the file, get the file, get the file. And then 2, come here every day and ask good questions and listen. 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 You are not a teacher, though. Okay, Otto. Am I not? I am. Oh, okay, Matito. All right. All right. So anyway, yeah, it's sometimes you got to be careful because you don't know. I don't know if I'm talking to you or you're talking to me, right? So be careful. Thank you for that, Otto, to make sure that you're clear. So again, yes, I am passionate. I love teaching. I have been teaching since I was 18 years old. I am 50 years old. I started teaching when I was 18. I love teaching. Okay? When I talk to someone, I don't know the meaning of some of the words in the sentences they say. What should I do? Tiger, you should do the same thing that I do. When they say that word, repeat the word and say, what's that? Just like I do in Chinese. 这个是什么?这个是什么?我听不懂,这个是什么? Right? I'll say the word and I'll repeat, what is that? All right? It's okay to ask. It's okay to ask. All right. How to be confident in English when your English is not good. You can't be. You can't be confident if you're not good. So that's why you should be good. All right? Learn how to be good. Confidence comes with experience. Confidence comes with experience. Okay? Why is the W pronounced W and not double V? Peter, that's about history. Okay? I'll try to explain. This is a little complicated, but I'll try to explain, Peter. English comes from many other languages. Okay? English, 60% of English comes from Latin or Greek language. 30% or more comes from French. About 20% comes from German. We also have many words from Persian, from Arabic, from Spanish, from Italian, from Japanese, from Hindi. So English comes from many languages. One of the languages is Latin. And in the Latin language, there was no U. They did not have the letter U in Latin. They only had the letter V. Okay? And so for a long time, they used the letter V for both. Okay? For both the letter V and the letter U. They used both. But then they combined two V's together, and that became the double U. So the V is the Latin U. All right? And then when you put two of them together, now you have the double U. Okay? It's two of them. All right? You're at a level where you can watch TV shows without subtitles, but you can't write at all. Is writing important? That depends on you, Rasha. I don't know if writing is important to you. Okay? If you want to be good at English, then yeah. Writing, reading, listening, speaking, and thinking. Vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation. These are the 8 parts of language. Let me say it again. Listen. Listen, listen, listen. Reading, writing, listening, speaking, thinking. Grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation. Okay? Angela, yell, not yellow. Yellow 就是黄色, right? But yell 就是大声, 说大声, okay? What's the best way to practice the grammar part of English? Practice grammar a lot. Use many books, use many resources. Practice grammar a lot, okay? My favorite grammar book is right here. Okay, which one? Sorry, wait, I can't find it. Basic English Grammar, Book 1. There it is. Here's my favorite book for grammar. You can also use this wonderful website. It's a free website called GamesToLearnEnglish.com. 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 That website is great. It's free, and it's just games. It's just games for adjectives, games for vocabulary, games for idioms, games for prepositions, games for whatever. All right? So go there. Okay, let's see. That's right. Get the file, come here Monday through Friday. Yes. Yes. Get the file, come here Monday through Friday. Wow, Otto, thank you for the gifts, Otto. Thank you so much. Wow. That's a lot of gifts, Otto. Thank you. Man, nobody's ever given me so many gifts before. Okay. Yeah, so guys, sometimes maybe you go like, what is this guy doing? Just please remember that I have been here for a long time, and I have done a lot of these. Do you know how many of these I have done? How many live streams do you think I've done? Take a guess. How many live streams have I done? Hamdi is the closest so far. I have done 1,380 of these live streams. That's a lot. Almost 1,400. Okay, 1,400 times I have come here. For at least an hour, sometimes 3 hours, 4 hours. 1,300 times I have been here. How did I know that number? It's on my HelloTalk statistics. Okay, right there. Events attended, 1,380. Oh, you can't really see it clearly, but that's right there. If you are a host, then you can see your numbers. If you are a host, then you can see. Okay? Let's see how many hours. How many hours is it? 143,934. Almost 2,400 hours. So 1,380 live streams for 2,398 hours. 2,400 hours I've been here teaching you. So sometimes I get a little bit frustrated. Sometimes I get a little bit bored. Sometimes I don't like the same question over and over and over again. How can I be fluent? How can I learn English quickly? You know, I mean, sometimes I just get tired of those questions, and so I get a little bit annoyed. But that's why I made the file, and that's why I have a website where you can find out everything about me, okay? Cliche questions, yeah. That's right. Yeah. Cliche means something that you do it so much that it becomes old and not cool anymore. Okay? So yes, get the file now. That's right. Get the file. And where is the file? If you want the file is right. Oh, no, where did I put it? Here. Mossab says, thank you for being patient with us. And thank you, because I'm not always patient. I am not always patient. Sometimes I'm not patient, guys. I'm a human. Sometimes I get a little bit impatient, okay? I try to be patient as much as I can, but it is hard sometimes. Sometimes. Okay, and again, that file, if you want to know, what's this file he keeps talking about? What is this file? It's this right here. Okay, look at this. Hello, new friend. Welcome to my English online classroom. I'm Teacher Mark. Okay, this is the file right here. What do I do here? And when do I teach here? Here's my schedule. And here's my YouTube. And here is my website. And here is my blog. Okay? And here are 4 free articles for you about English. Okay? And here are the rules for my room. The rules for my room. If you're in my room, please follow the rules. Okay? So that's the file. And that's right. Reading, writing, listening, speaking, thinking, grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation. Okay? That's right. And not that it matters, but I will remind you that yeah, for free. Yeah. I have not been paid for any of this. Okay? Sometimes I get tips, right? Like who was giving me tips before? Oh, Otto was giving me tips, right? So Otto gave me some tips, and I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Otto. But most people don't give me tips. Most people just don't give me anything. So every month, I make maybe $20 from HelloTalk. Okay? In 1 month, I make about $20 here. Okay? That's it. For that much money, I can go to McDonald's. Teaching. It's such a wonderful career. Thank you, Otto. See, Otto is really kind. Thank you, Otto. That's very nice of you. I appreciate that. If you can tip me, please tip me. I mean, come on. 2,400 hours of teaching. Okay? So yeah, please. I don't ask. Do you ever hear me ask for money? I never ask for money. I never ask for tips. I never ask for anything. Okay? So yeah, if you can, it'd be nice. If you can, it'd be nice. Okay? So thank you very much, Otto. I really do appreciate that. Yes, I'm on YouTube right now. Every HelloTalk stream I do is also on YouTube at the same time. Okay? Okay, so I have been here today for 1 hour and 45 minutes. Okay, so if you want to raise your hand, I'll talk to a couple people. I'll talk to 2 people maybe, if I have time. So if you want to raise your hand and ask me a question, raise your hand and ask me a question. But again, please understand that I don't just chat with people. So if you want to come on my stage, you have to have a question or a reason or a topic, something that you want to discuss. Okay? You can't just come say, "Hey, can we chat?" No, we can't. All right? But if you have a question, please, yes, come on stage. Okay? But nobody's raising their hand. See what happens? Everybody's afraid of me. I've scared you now. You're too scared. Come on stage. Homer's back. Let's talk to Homer.
Hey, DJ Mark.
Hello, Homer. How are you again?
Nice to meet you again.
Yes.
I just finished some hard job and just want to share some opinions towards work. And I'm glad that no one is willing to talk to you, so I got this chance.
I know, right? It's really weird. Like there are like 80 or 90 people in the room, but everybody is so scared of me. I don't understand why. Like, okay, yeah, I do yell at some people sometimes, but I don't think I'm scary. You know, like I don't understand why people are so afraid to talk to me. I don't
I
understand.
guess for the like fresh graduates or some students, they're not willing to talk because maybe they are shy or they are not willing to share some like personal life. But after I talk to many like friends online, I think you can share as as much information as possible, and it's not about privacy. I guess just sharing what makes you feel this world is large. Like one of my friends in America, he talked to me about like people running without wearing any clothes in America. That sounds incredible in China, you know.
You mean, say that again? People not wearing
I
clothes
mean,
where?
they do running nakedly.
Where did you see this?
On Facebook.
Okay, so we have something called streaking. Streaking, Streaking. Streaking. It's not, this is not like everybody, oh, so today I want to go running naked. I'm going to go running naked. No, that does not happen. Okay.
All right.
But
All right.
what does happen is sometimes, like on a college campus, this is usually a college thing. It's almost always a college thing. Yeah. And it's like one day, it's just one day where everybody will get naked and run around the campus like one time, just like one time. And yeah, it's crazy, right? It's really crazy.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where it's actually not legal. It's illegal to do that. But because they have 1,000 people, they're not going to arrest 1,000 people for it. They can't, you know, so they just, so usually we just say, oh, that's funny, you know, and that's it.
Have you ever witnessed this kind of live streaming shows? Like,
I haven't, so many years ago I did it.
yeah.
But not on a live stream. So, like, look, I'm old. When I was younger, there, like, the internet was new, and like, YouTube was new, and phones were new, and all that. So when I went to do this, there weren't a bunch of people taking pictures of all of it, right? Now, when you do it, yeah, it's all going to be on YouTube, and everybody's going to see everything forever, right? So I did this many years ago. I remember we ran around Ohio University campus naked at night. It was just, you know, like an hour, not even an hour. I think it was like 30 minutes. We were just running around naked for like 30 minutes. It was just stupid. It was a stupid thing to do, you know?
For boys doing these things crazy, I think I can understand. But for girls who is willing to running without any clothes, that's some kind of other things.
Yeah,
right?
well, so why do they do it? So that's right. You're right. It is. It's a bigger deal for girls. That's right, because girls are more vulnerable. But that's also why they do it. They do it because they want to show their power, and they want to show that, hey, I should not have to worry about that. Right? I shouldn't have to worry about being attacked. You know, but that's what girls think. They do. They do have to worry about that, right? So when girls do it, you're right. It's a much bigger statement when a girl does it. It's a political thing a little bit, because they're saying like, look, I shouldn't have to worry about that. The guys do it. The guys don't worry. So why should I have
Yeah.
to worry, right? And you have to remember, in America, we try to be very equal about many things. So if a guy can do it, yeah, a girl can do it too.
Yeah. For Americans, they are open-minded and they are willing to do something like that. But in China, Chinese students will do something crazy when they have their like college entrance exams finished.
Yeah,
Like after they took the serious exams for the entrance of college, they will like damage their books and just do something really crazy.
yeah. See, we just do that for the entire college. Like we do
Yeah.
that. Like college in the United States, university, if you go to university in the United States, 50% of what you're doing is learning, like studying, and you're trying to learn a career. But 50% of the university experience in America is social. It's social, man. Like you're going out with friends and you're having parties and you're drinking for the first time. Drinking was illegal. Now you're old enough and you can drink, or maybe you're not old enough but you drink with your friends, a little bit, that's we did, And so what I'm saying is there is a difference in university between China and America, because in China, for the most part, university is just university. It's just about education and getting a job. But
Exactly.
in America, university is about growing up. And when you grow up, you have to cook your own food and you have to live by yourself and you have to take care of yourself and you have to do this and do that, make your own decisions. You have to do everything for yourself, and you go out and you make friends that now you have a group of people. So when I went to school years ago, those are some of my closest friends still. Like we made a bond back then, and we're so close still. I could call them and they love me, but I haven't seen them in 20 years, but they'll be like, wow, Mark, what's up, Mark? Because we made a connection. So when you go to the university in America, yeah, you're supposed to study and you're supposed to get good grades and you're supposed to learn. But you're also supposed to make friends and go out and have experiences and maybe make a few mistakes. And do some stupid stuff. You know why? Because I'll tell you why. Because you're supposed to do stupid stuff when you're young.
Exactly. I think when we were young, we should do and try as many things as possible,
Yeah.
even there are mistakes and something wrong.
That's right.
And like you mentioned, in college, in universities, Chinese or Americans do like socializing themselves. But I would say for me, or majority of Chinese students, only when they are like financially independent after they graduate
Right.
and have work.
Yeah,
They
but see,
wanna-
then it's too late. Then it's too
Yeah, they
late.
gotta do something different.
Yeah, but
Like-
what I mean is like, okay, so you're right. They don't have freedom until after they graduate and after they get a good job. But then they don't have any freedom because now they work, and they have a family. So you have no freedom. So that's why I'm saying before you get married, when you're in college, that is the time to do stupid stuff and try things. It's okay. If you make a mistake, you can figure it out. You're supposed to make some mistakes when you're in your youth. That's part of being young, is be young and dumb. That's how you become old and wise. Okay? The old wise man was once a young dumb man.
Yeah. There's an old saying quote like, with years supposed to come wisdom. Like time can teach you something,
Yeah.
but that's when you were young, and that's the most valuable things is you have as much time as possible. And when you are getting old, even you have experience, knowledge about life, I don't think it's much more valuable for me. At least, I appreciate those people who are young and stupid
So
at this point.
I always like to say that the word wisdom is spelled Wisdom, but it sounds like wisdom, dumb, D-U-M-B, dumb. And what I tell people is wisdom is when you are very dumb as when you're young. If you're very dumb when you're young and you learn from it, then you become wise. So wisdom comes with stupidity if you learn from it. If you are stupid and you never learn from it, then you stay stupid. But if you make mistakes and you grow and you learn from those mistakes, that's how you become wise. So the wisdom, it's wisdom. You have to be dumb in order to be wise.
Hey, teacher Mike, I was wondering, in your career, have you ever seen some like colleagues or friends who you deem as mentors who helps you to grow much more faster, or you learn a lot from those? Like for me, I work in a company, so I learn a lot from my direct manager. For a teacher, do you have someone to learning from, like directors or principals?
So in my life, I have been lucky because I have had many great teachers who I considered mentors. Okay, because there's a difference between a teacher and a mentor. Teachers just teach a subject. Mentors teach life.
Yeah.
Okay, and so a mentor will teach you about that subject, but they will also teach you the wisdom that comes with that subject, right? So a mentor is showing you how to be a better person. A teacher just teaches you a subject. All right. And yes, through my life, I've been lucky. It's one of the reasons why I'm so happy I became a drummer, because that's where I met great teachers. When I became a drummer and I studied drums, then I realized when I studied drums, there were many drum teachers in my city. All over the city, there were many drum teachers. But then you started hearing from people that, oh, this teacher's the best one. And this teacher, not so good. You know, like there were many average teachers. There are lots of average teachers. You can play drums anywhere, right? But does that mean that your teacher is great? No. The great teachers, they have a reputation, right? People talk about them, right?
Yeah.
So I was lucky when I was younger. I started playing drums, and then I went to in high school. My high school was a very special school. It was a performing arts school. So it was for artists, right? So if you go to this school, you have to have some talent, right? So either dancing or singing or acting or drawing or painting or music, you have to have some talent that you study, okay? And I studied drums. I also studied acting back then. A long time ago, I studied acting. And so when I studied drums, I was lucky because I was at the best school one of the best schools in the country.
Wow, amazing.
And my teacher was one of the best teachers in the country. People knew him all over the world. People knew my teacher. You know, I was like, wow, this guy, everywhere I go, people know this guy. Like, wow, man, he knows him. He knows him. He knows him. I remember one time I was taking a lesson at his house, right? I would go to his house once a week and take a private lesson with him. And one time he had a phone call while we were in the lesson. And he said, hey, Mark, somebody wants to talk to you. And he gave me the phone. And I said, hello? And it was one of the most famous drummers of all time on the phone with my teacher. There's a guy named Neil Peart. Neil Peart is he was the drummer for Rush, a band called Rush, and he is known as one of the greatest drummers in the world. This guy was one of the most famous drummers of all time. And I was at my lesson, and this guy called my teacher just to chat. So I was lucky. I found some great teachers, and that was not the only one. He was just the first one. And then I had another great teacher named Art Gore. He was a famous jazz drummer, and I studied with him. But here is what I did. So Art Gore was a drummer in my city, a jazz drummer, and he was one of the best jazz drummers. Everybody thought Art Gore is one of the best. And every time I'd go see him, I would say, "Can I study with you? Can I buy lessons from you? Can I pay you to teach me? Please, can you teach me?" And every time he would say no. Every time he'd say, "No, I don't teach. No, I don't teach. No, I don't teach." But every time I kept coming back. I kept saying, "I really want to study with you, please." And one day he called me and he said, "You keep bothering me about lessons." He said, "Why do you want to study with me?" And I said, "I don't want to know what you play. I want to know why you play what you play." And he said, "Oh, that's cool." He said, "Well, that's a good answer." He said, "Okay, come to my house at Saturday next week, Saturday afternoon." And I took lessons with him. I was the first one he ever taught. He never had a student before me. And I studied with him, and he was brilliant, and he was amazing. So I had many mentors. I was lucky. I learned what a mentor was. And then, Homer, this is more important. After I learned what a mentor was, then I became a mentor.
Yeah, I guess it's like a chain effect. Like someone motivates you, then you motivate others.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So, I've been lucky because I've been teaching for so long that some of my students have become professionals.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah. So when I was like 24, I had a student who was 14, and I was teaching him for, I think, about 3 or 4 years. He's now the university professor at one of the local colleges.
Oh, amazing.
He's the drum teacher at the university. He's better than me by far. He's way better than me. And that's.
Have you ever considered to enter into a school and teaching there?
I've taught at schools before. So I used to live in Taiwan for 4.5 years. I taught English in Taiwan at a bunch of different schools when I was there. So I have been teaching since I was 18 years old. I started teaching drums at the local music store in my neighborhood, and then I started teaching at high schools. I've taught at 3 different high schools, and I've helped at a couple universities. And then when I was in 2009, then I decided to try something different, and I went to Taiwan, and I decided to try teaching English, and I started teaching English in 2009. So I've been a teacher since then.
Right now, there are many social platforms in China. We have Red Notes, TikToks, a lot of, traditional teachers, they are willing to use this new social media. These kind of ways can influence more and more students because unlike traditional schools, teachers only can teach like 50 students in a class. But if play a teacher role in social media, maybe you can influence thousands or maybe thousands of students.
Yeah, over 1 million people have watched me here.
That sounds crazy.
Yeah, it is. I have followers in every country in the world.
Great.
So that means That's crazy. That means that I could go to any place in the world and somebody will know me.
Yeah.
That's a funny feeling. That's a cool feeling. You know, that I could go anywhere. I have been invited to almost everywhere. Everybody invites me. You should come here. Please come here. I want to show you my place or whatever. It's a great feeling, you know? That's honestly, Hello Talk is good for many things, but one of the things Hello Talk is good for is if you want to travel wherever you want to go. Let's say you want to go to Greece for a vacation. Okay, so get on Hello Talk and start talking to people in Greece now, and then next year, tell them, hey, I'm coming to Greece next year. If you talk to them for 1 year, now you have friends, and next year when you show up, you don't have to take a bus tour. No, they will show you their place. So I went to Europe for the first time. I've never been to Europe before. Last year I went to Europe, and I met my friend Gunter from Berlin on Hello Talk. He's my friend Gunter. I stayed in Gunter's house for a week with his family. And then I flew to Madrid and I stayed with my friend Belen and her family for a week. It was amazing. It was amazing. You know, they showed me everything.
It's a great feeling.
Yeah, they showed me everything. I mean, if you want to travel, I'm telling you, traveling is so much better when you know somebody there. You have no idea how much better it is. I don't want to travel unless I know somebody there. I have now become someplace where if you tell me, hey, do you want to go to Iceland or do you want to go to Russia? If I don't know somebody there, I don't want to go.
Yeah.
Because
have you ever been to Argentina or some countries there?
I haven't been to South America, no. I wish I could. I've never been to Central America or South America.
All right.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, like, now that I know the difference between if you just buy a plane ticket and go someplace and you walk around and you don't meet anybody and you don't know anybody, or you buy a tour, that's terrible. That's a waste of money. But if you know somebody and you go there,
Yeah. That was the trip. Like, the place is full of meaning if you have some friends there.
yeah, and they'll show you their favorite restaurants and their favorite foods and their favorite places, and they'll say, oh, this place over here, no. I know all the tourists go there, but don't go there. No, go to this one. This is the better one, right?
Yeah.
So everywhere I go now, I know people, and they tell me, no, don't go to this, go there. That's a pretty cool feeling that for the rest of my life, I can travel anywhere, and there are people who will tell me, oh yeah, I'll show you around. I'll tell you where to go or help you.
Yeah, even some professional tour guide, they are willing to sell you something because it's their work. They have to make money, but
That's right.
as a friend,
That's right.
they know as a locals they are not willing to spend much money on some expensive items.
And it's like a point of pride. So if I come visit you in your city, you feel an obligation to make me have a good time. So you feel a sense of like, I have to show him all the best stuff. I have to show him the best. If I don't show him the best, then it's like, if he doesn't like it here, that's my fault. Right? So if you come to my city, if you don't have a good time, I feel bad. So if you come here, I'm going to take you to all the best restaurants. I'm going to take you to all the best places to look at and everything, because I want you to have a good time, because this is my town. And if you don't have a good time in my town, then I feel like, oh, that's not good. That's not good, right? So yeah, that's why it's great. If you talk on Hello Talk, it's not just for language, man.
Yeah.
If you want to travel,
I
then
met friends from America, from Philippines, from Britain, and from somewhere like Afghanistan and Iraq.
Yeah.
They share many stories I haven't heard before,
Yeah.
and
Me
even
too.
I haven't. Yeah. Because after you met many foreigners, life can exist so many different forms or different ways to live your life. Then,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, there's a funny thing about this word foreigner.
Mm,
If you go to the moon, are you a foreigner?
I'm an alien, maybe.
So that means if you're an alien, you are right. If you go to the moon, you would be an alien. You're not from there, so you're an alien, right? But if you and I are both on the moon, who is the foreigner, you or I?
I guess we are all human beings.
That's right. So that's why I'm saying when I hear the word foreigner, it's always so weird to me because why do we still talk about things like foreigner? You're not from here. I'm from Earth. You're from Earth. We're both from Earth. So
Yeah.
you're not foreign and I'm not foreign. We're both from here. Right?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying if you're on the moon and I'm on the moon, who's the foreigner now? Are you the foreigner and am I the foreigner? Right? So that's why this word, especially in China, Weigelren, like Tamenshul Weigelren, right? But Weigel means outside person. It's from outside. But everything is inside now. There is no outside. We all live on the same planet and we all know about this planet, right? Just yesterday, Homer, there was a Chinese guy who came on my stream yesterday, right at the end, just when I was leaving. And he said, "Do you know China?" And I was like, wait a minute. Of course I know China. Who doesn't know China? Everybody knows China. There is not one human on this planet now who doesn't know China. Everybody knows China. So it was so funny to me that he's asking me that question. Like, of course I know China. 我会说中文. So it's funny to me that a person like that, he thinks there's somebody in China who actually thinks this guy doesn't know China. That's weird to me. That's very weird to me. Like, how is that possible? But it's the same thing is true in America. There are some Americans who will say, "Do you know America?" Like, of course you know America. Who doesn't know America, right? So, but that's what I mean. It's a small world, man. We have a song. It's a famous song. It's a small world after all. It's a very famous Disney song, right? And it's all about how small the world really is. Everybody. Yeah. I mean, again, Homer, I want you to think about this. When I was 9 years old, in my house, in the basement, we had a radio, and it was a special radio called a shortwave radio. So most radio is for local stations, local, close. But shortwave radio, I could listen to radio in Europe. And when I was a boy, this was crazy. Like, nobody could do that. That was insane. I could listen to radio, BBC Europe. I could listen to BBC London or Radio France. It was amazing. Now, but this is how careful. Could I do it on any day? No, I couldn't do it on any day. I had to do it on a day when the weather was really good and the sky was very clear. Then the radio signal was good enough that I could hear it. Okay, so now I want you to think about this, everybody. That's about, let's say that's 1980. Let's call it 1980, 1985. All right, 1985. In 1985, if I wanted to talk to somebody in China, do you know how hard that was?
Incredible hard, I guess.
And expensive. incredibly expensive and difficult, because it was very difficult to find someone who would speak English and somebody who could have that phone call. Very difficult, right? Almost impossible.
Yeah. One of the reasons I really love to learn language is after you overcome the language barrier, you can approach a larger world.
That's right.
Even you have like discrimination
Yeah.
against foreigners, after you learn their language, you know, we are all human beings, just speak different language.
That's right. Yeah. So my point is that the world has changed a lot, because when I was a kid, if I wanted to talk to somebody in another part of the world, it was almost impossible. But right now, there are 104 people from around the world watching me right now. And I'm talking to somebody in China live on video.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's technology.
it is insane. It is so crazy how much has changed in that amount of time. And again, when I was a boy, I remember I had a friend, his mom worked in China, and that was crazy. Back then, in 1985, everybody talked about this woman who worked in China, because nobody worked in China back then.
You mean Americans?
Yeah,
working,
she was an American.
Wow.
His mom worked in China. She was always gone away in China. And that was so crazy in 1985. That was like, wow, man, your mom is on the other side of the world. Wow. That's so crazy.
Yeah, you know, China just opened and have a cultural revolution after like 1976.
Right.
Like,
So that's
10
not too
years
long.
later.
Right. That's right. That's only 10 years later. Right. Yeah. It's very
Yeah.
crazy that even for that reason, it was crazy that China was still growing then. So, yeah, for people to go work there was definitely new. Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But look how much has changed. Look how much has changed. And again, now I can talk to anybody in any country, and language is not a problem. And it's amazing. It's just really amazing. But why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because I'm lucky, because I know how amazing it is. Because I grew up when we didn't have this. But for some of you are so young that you don't understand how amazing this is. All of this is just like, whatever. You know, like,
Yeah. When they were born, they already have those kind of technology. They don't know what kind of experience we have when we were children, right?
Right. Yeah. So I'm saying, if you don't understand how amazing this is, you really need to. You really need to. And, 10 or 15, no, I guess it was about 10 years ago, I started a project called AFIEC, A Friend in Every Corner. A friend in every corner. And my goal was to have at least one friend in every country in the world.
You accomplished that very soon.
I already have accomplished that, and now what I want is I want everybody to do that. Because imagine what the world would be like if you had a friend in every single country in the world.
That could be quite hard, you know.
It could be hard, but I want you to think about it like this. When you don't know somebody from there, whatever happens there doesn't bother you. But when you know somebody from there, whatever happens there, now you pay attention. So if something happens to you in your country, I will care now because I know you. If I didn't know you, how can I really care? I hate to say it, but that's true. That's why we didn't care. 50 years ago, why did Americans not really care about people around the world? Because they didn't know. They didn't know about them. They didn't know anything, right? But the more you learn, the more you know. Do you know who Mark Twain is? Mark Twain.
One of the novel writer.
Yeah, he's a famous American writer. And he has a quote that I still love about travel. He said, travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness. So, fatal means it will kill it. Fatal, it'll kill it, right? So, travel will kill bigotry, narrow-mindedness, and prejudice. Okay? And then he says, and many of our people need it sorely on these accounts. So what he's saying is many Americans need to travel because many Americans are bigoted and they're prejudiced and they're narrow-minded. But if they travel, then their mind will become bigger and they won't be prejudiced and they won't be bigoted. Right? He said, travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness, and many of our people need it sorely on these accounts. So basically it means that the more you travel, the more you learn. And if you learn, then you learn how wrong you were. You learn that you're wrong about Chinese people. You're wrong about black people. You're wrong about Americans. You're wrong about this. No, go learn what they're really like. Go learn what they're really like, you know?
Yeah.
So when people say things like, Chinese people are like this, no, they're not. There are too many. You can't say that about everybody. You can't say Americans are all like you. No, they're not. No, they're not.
Yeah, a lot of discrimination because you didn't know the whole things.
That's right.
Just like you are blind and touch an elephant, like their nose or their skin, you don't know the whole things, right? If you are
That's why we had zoos. Guys, that's why we made the zoo, okay? We made the zoos. Many years ago, we made zoos because why? Because 200 years ago, people didn't know what an elephant was. 200 years ago, people had never seen a monkey. And so now you put them in a zoo and people come see them and they go, wow, look at this beautiful animal. Look at this amazing animal. And now because they see the animal, maybe they can care about that animal and where that animal's from. So, for example, elephants and rhinos in Africa, they're endangered because too many people are trying to kill them, right? They're shooting them, right? Because we talk about that, we try to stop it. Because we know about elephants now. I've seen an elephant, and I've seen how beautiful they are. So I know I don't want you to kill those things. You shouldn't be killing elephants. No, man, what's wrong with you? That's a beautiful animal, and you just shot it dead. Sick.
Yeah.
That's sick. But now, when we talk about those people who shoot elephants, we all hate those people. Nobody likes those people. Nobody likes the person who goes to Africa to kill animals. Nobody likes that person here in America. 100 years ago, that's not true. 50 years ago, if you went to America, there were a bunch of people who'd say, yeah, let's go kill the animals, because they didn't know about them. But now they know, so now we try not to. So yes, that's why learning is so important, because learning is the secret to not being bigoted. Learning is the secret to not being prejudiced. And learning is the secret to not being narrow-minded.
Yeah. I guess I do a lot of readings. Even like only one page per day keeps my mind with something useful. And I want to keep my mind occupied, not roaming around without purpose. A lot of people after they work, they are pushing like by their managers, their directors. Those power are so powerful. Like you were under such a pressure, like financial burdens or something from the higher management team. You do things you don't really like, but keep your mind occupied with something like language, like for something like
Okay, so yes,
work. Yeah.
what you're saying is true. There are many people who they have a job and maybe you don't really like your job, but you have to do your job. But these learning can make you feel like, oh, my life is good because I'm still learning. And there's so many things to learn about. But that's true. What you said is true. But I want to say something else, though. One thing that needs to change is we need to stop encouraging people to work doing things that they don't care about. This is a very simple principle. If you care, you try harder. So, if you care, you do better. So why am I a good teacher? Because I care. Right? So, do you want to study with a teacher who doesn't care about teaching? No. Do you want to go to a doctor who doesn't really care about medicine? No, you don't, right? So what I'm saying is, for many years, we have been telling everybody that you should get a job and make money, and that's what's important. And I'm telling you that's wrong. I'm telling you that we should be encouraging people to do things that they like. And if you don't like it, find a way to like it. Now, can you like everything? No, maybe not. Maybe there are some things you can't really enjoy. They're just terrible jobs. But that's why we pay those people a lot of money. Right? Yeah. Right? So a garbage man. In America, garbage men make pretty good money. Because everybody knows that's a job that most people don't like. But guess what? I think that's not true. Because almost all the garbage men that I know, they actually look like they're happy.
They earn a lot.
They earn a lot, but no, I don't think it's because they earn a lot. I think it's because their job is useful. Their job is useful. Everybody knows that they are benefiting the society. They're benefiting everybody. So it's a valuable job, just like my job. Part of my job I love because I know my job benefits the community. Mm. So I love what I do, not just because of the money. I don't make any money, but
you just mentioned you earn like $20, right?
Yeah. I know.
Well, that's not really.
Yeah, but that's what's so weird to me. I'll tell you why that's weird. Because, hold on, let me think about my words for a moment. You think it's very strange when you meet somebody who's really good at something, but they don't care about money. You think that can't be true. You can't have somebody who's really good, but they're not rich. How's that possible? How is it possible that you're the best, but you're not famous and rich? Because in your mind, you have associated everybody who's rich and famous with success. Sorry, but that's just not true. There are, for example, in music, this is very true in music.
Hey, I suddenly remember a painter named Vincent van Gogh, and he died without like any penny in
but
his
that's
pocket.
true for most artists. Almost every famous artist, they didn't make any money when they were living. They just it was later that they made the estate made money, right? But yes, that's true. Like, look, a painter. Nobody becomes a painter for the money. Nobody becomes a musician for the money. Nobody becomes a teacher for the money. You do it because you love it, you know? But what I'm saying is we have created a world where you think that somebody can only be good if they're famous or rich. And that is a lie. That is completely not true. So, for example, Taylor Swift is a very famous musician, and she's very, very good. She's good, okay? But guess what? In my city, there are at least 50 other singers just as good as her.
Maybe. I guess so.
Not maybe, definitely. I'm a musician, I know. And by the way, Taylor Swift's bass player is a friend of mine.
Whoa.
He used to play here. This is my point. That bass player in her band used to play in my city in the same clubs as me.
Whoa,
So
man.
that's what I'm trying to tell you is Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga has a famous jazz band, right? She does her pop music and she does jazz music too. Two of the guys in her band, I went to college with them and played music with them in my band. So in music, this happens all the time in music. In your city right now, there are some musicians who are just as good as any professional that's famous. But you don't think they're as good because they're not famous. But it's true. Just like teaching. Teaching is the same way. My teachers, some of my teachers are not famous. They could be, but they're not. Okay? Knight says, you can't find anyone like Taylor Swift. Knight, you can. Okay? I'm sorry, but you can. And Taylor Swift would admit, she would say it too. Taylor Swift would be the first one to say he's right. He's definitely right. Taylor Swift will tell you that in every city in America, there are 50 or 100 singers just as good as her. But you don't see them because they're just at the small bar. So because they're at the small bar, you think, oh, they're not good.
Yeah. Most of talents, they may not use their talent for any money because I guess for music industry, only like less than 1% of the
Become famous.
employees.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's exactly right. That's the point. Less than 1% of musicians become famous. Does that mean only 1% are that good? No! It means
Yeah.
that luck. You have to be
Yeah.
lucky. Lucky.
Yeah.
So Taylor Swift is very good. She's very talented and she deserves it. But she will be the first one who will tell you she was lucky. She was lucky. Okay?
Yeah. Once you get famous, then the money, just like you can earn it without any efforts. Because imagine you are Taylor Swift,
Yeah.
all those
That's right.
popular singers.
Yeah. Okay,
Those
so
tickets.
wait a minute here. The Knight is very mad at me because I'm saying that Taylor Swift, there's many people like Taylor Swift. Okay, but listen, Knight, okay, I am a professional musician, okay? And you guys know me as a teacher, as an English teacher, but my first job is drums, okay? I'm a drummer. That's my job. And I have met many famous musicians, many. Okay, dozens and dozens of famous musicians. I have met them, and I know some of them. Some of my friends work with them. Okay, so I'm not trying to say Taylor Swift is not good. No, I'm not saying that. You're missing the point, Knight. I'm not saying she's not good. What I'm saying is there are people just as good as her everywhere, but they just didn't get lucky enough to become famous. I'm sorry, but that's true. It's true. There are many, many, many musicians where you live who are brilliant, but not famous. What about poetry? Poetry is another good one. Can you name a rich poet? Are there any poets who are rich? No. None of them are rich, but they still do poetry. And because none of them are rich, that means poetry is not about the money. So that means that you could be a brilliant poet, but be poor. So we have a problem in this world where we have begun to, we have assumed that everybody who's rich or everybody who's famous must be good. That's not true. There are many people who are rich and famous who are not that good. Okay?
Yeah.
They were lucky. They were lucky. Okay? Luck is always a part of it. Okay?
Yeah. Luck is one of the most powerful thing you may have. And I would say a lot of colleagues of mine compete for a position in a company, but only one get the chance to like convert into full-time employee or have a promotion. So luck is sometimes a thing, but maybe you need that. And for people who works in music industry, you can feel that kind of difficulties why you want to be famous, because millions of people try to be famous. They work in a bar first, and later they recognized by some social media, and they became famous. That took times, and maybe you need some lucks.
Yeah.
And even you sing quite good, but
Yeah.
maybe
Every musician, if you've been a musician for more than 10 years, then you have met many, many, many people who are amazing but not famous. Like it's so common in music. It's so common. Like I told you, my student is now the university professor for drums at a college here. Is he famous? In my city, everybody knows him. Everybody knows him in my city. But if you go to New York City, people don't know him there. If he goes to Chicago, people won't know him there. Does that mean he's not good? No. It means he's still good, but it's popularity, it's luck. There are many things that go into it. Many things. But my main point is just that I want you to understand that there are many, many industries. There are many different kinds of work where you should not assume that the rich guy is the best guy.
yeah.
Okay? There are many kinds of work where the rich guy is not the best guy. It's again, teaching. Teachers are not rich. The best teacher is not the richest teacher. It's the best teacher.
Yeah.
And art,
Because
same thing.
people generally thinking that like Apple has the biggest capital incomes, and their revenues is the highest one, so their quality is the highest. So I refer to the person or the musicians or teachers who are earning millions of money. They have the best like talent, right?
Well, sometimes yes and sometimes no. I'm going to make some people mad here now. For example, okay, I don't like Justin Bieber, and I don't think he's that talented. I have met many, many singers who are far more talented than Justin Bieber. Okay? But he's famous. He's super famous. He's super rich. I'm not saying he's not talented. He is talented. He has some talent. But I've met so many people who are so much more talented than him, like a million times more. And I'm not trying to say he's bad. I'm just trying to say he's cute.
Attract millions of girls.
Yeah, that's it. He was very, very cute, and they made him famous because he's so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, he has some talent, but the truth is, in my opinion, I think he would have had a better life if he didn't become famous.
Really?
Yeah, because his fame messed him up. His fame, he's not a happy person now. He has some problems, and he has some depression, and he has a lot of feelings that he doesn't like because people talk about him all the time. When you're famous, people talk about you, and not always good, right? Like, look, I'm saying bad stuff about him. I don't know him. It's not really fair, you know? But I think even Justin might admit that he could have had a little bit more of a simple life, and maybe it would have been easier if he didn't become famous. Because sometimes fame, yeah, you make a lot of money, but there are trade-offs. He can't go to a regular bar and just have a drink. He can't just go out to have a burger. You know, like
Exactly.
if he goes out anywhere, he gets attacked and mobbed and pictures and everything, right? It's annoying, it's obnoxious, it's stupid. And for that, I feel terribly sorry for him. I feel very sorry for him that he has to deal with that. But he's famous because they wanted him to be famous, and they made and again, he was cute. And that's true in the pop industry. Why is it called pop? What does pop mean? What is pop music, everybody? Pop. What does pop mean? Pop means popular. So if you're a pop music artist, then that means that you are popular. And popular music is not always about the music. It's about what you look like. It's about your image. So put it this way. If Taylor Swift were fat, she probably wouldn't be that famous.
Yeah. Because the appearance or the outlook or the face expression may affect the fans' emotion. So when companies want to hire a superstar, they're gonna consider a lot of like
Yeah,
their appearance.
it's like what's the girl's name? Oh, I forgot her name now. She's got one name. She is a bit of a bigger girl. She's slightly bigger, but I can't remember her name. Oh, what is her name? Rolling in the Deep. Adele, that's it. Adele. Thank you. Adele.
Oh.
Adele is a little bit bigger, right? But guess what? That's how you know how talented she really is. She is really talented because even though she's a little bit bigger, they said, oh, that's okay because her voice is amazing. So they said, it's okay that she's a little bit bigger. Don't worry about that. She's so talented, it's okay.
Yeah.
And she is. She's an amazing singer. Which one is better, Taylor Swift or Adele? Night. Neither. Okay, so listen, Night. For me, you can't ask me about music because I'm a musician. So I have listened to hundreds of thousands of things that you haven't listened to. So if you have only listened to less than 1% of all the music in the world, then you can't say what's so great because you've only listened to less than 1%. Right? So when you tell me Ed Sheeran or Adele or Taylor Swift, those are all pop music. There are millions of other people to listen to. Millions. So you can't say Taylor Swift is the best if you've never heard the rest. You can't say Adele is the best if you've never heard the rest. You can't say Ed Sheeran is the best if you've never heard the rest. Okay? So, yeah.
I think Night typing speed is quite fast, and every time we
He
talk
is
something
fast.
new,
Yeah, he's pretty fast. That's right. Yeah.
and I guess he or she must pay more attention to music industry than us.
Yeah. Now listen. Everyone has different opinions. Try to respect the others' opinions, my friend. Yes, You're allowed to like anything you want. You are allowed to like anything you want. And I'm not telling you you can't like Taylor Swift. I'm not telling you you can't like Adele. I'm not telling you you can't like Justin Bieber. You can like anything you want, okay? I am giving you my opinion as a professional musician. That's it. Okay?
Yeah.
And I just want to show you a different perspective. That's all. I want you to understand that, for example, drummers. There's a famous song, a very, very famous song. Let me think. There are a few of them. There's one song called, there's one song called 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. It's a very famous song from the 1970s, okay? And this song, the drums on this song, it's the most important thing in the whole song. It's the drum part. If you don't have that drum part, you don't have that song. But guess what? The drummer on that song, so what I mean is drummers, there are many, many, many drummers who are very, 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 very famous. And they've played on so many records. You've heard them over and over. You've heard them again and again and again. But they're not famous because that's how the music business works. In the music business, the person who makes the most money is the one who wrote the song. But if you
It's like a patent, right? It's like patent.
It's like it's a copyright. Yeah, that's right. And so, so if I played on the song, for example, I played on a Pepsi commercial one time. Many years ago, I performed drums on a French Pepsi commercial. So in France, they had a commercial for Pepsi, and I played on it. And I got paid $100. And that commercial played many, 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 many times, I'm sure. But I only got $100.
That's not fair.
That's the music business. That's the music business. So in the music business, there are lots of people who are so talented, but not rich. So in my industry, it's common. It's so common that we understand. We understand that the best are the best, not the richest. The best are the best, not the richest. Okay?
To my knowledge, in China, there's a famous equivalent to Taylor Swift named Jay Chou.
Yeah, Jay Chou. Yeah. He's from Linkou.
He has talent, lyric writers.
Yeah, Jay Chou's great. I think Jay Chou's very talented. Yeah. He's from Taiwan, and when I was in Taiwan, the first year that I lived there, I lived in Linkou. He's from Linkou. He's from that city, that small town outside of Taipei. And he plays drums. He's a drummer too. So drums was his first instrument. Before he played piano and before he was a singer, he was a drummer. So I learned about him when I was in Taiwan, and people showed me all his music. I was like, wow, he is good. Like, Jay Chou is 1,000 times more talented than Justin Bieber.
Yeah, I also want to mention that Jay Chou has writers for him who write a lot of lyrics for him.
Yeah, that's true for almost all Chinese pop music. Almost all Chinese music is like that. Yeah. Same thing in America in country music. Country music in America, almost all the country music in America, it comes from Nashville. It's a city in America. So that's like the center of country music. And yeah, same thing. They have people who write the songs, and then they sell the song to the famous person. Right? So the famous person didn't write the song, but they have a great voice. They can't write good songs, but they have a great voice. So now they just pay for a song that somebody else wrote. And now, that's my song now, and I'll sing it, and then I'll become famous. Elton John. Do you know who Elton John is? Elton John's a famous piano player, singer from the 1970s and 80s. almost all of his songs, the words are
Or I was
written by somebody else.
I was born in 1990s, so
Yeah, so you don't know Elton John. Elton John is a very famous piano player, but almost all his words were written by another guy. Yeah.
yeah. So to grow your career, you need some companionships like a good colleagues, a mentor, or someone who can help you to
Yeah, in the music business or in the art world, we have one rule that we follow. Surround yourself with people who are better than you. Always be the worst one. If you're the worst one, then you're going to learn the most. So every group that I join, every band that I'm in, I don't want to be the best one in that band. I want to be the worst one in that band. Because if I'm the worst one, then I have to try the most and I will learn the most. So always surround yourself with people who are better than you. And then you will be better. Because they are up here. So they will make you feel like you have to reach. You have to keep trying. But if your friends are here, then you don't have to reach. Everything is easy and comfortable, and so you will not grow. You will not grow.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, a lot of colleagues around, I guess, they are just not helping you, but makes you feel bad about the high working load. But I guess to learn something new, you need some mentors who are willing to share their opinions towards the same goals. Like we're all working towards a goal that which may need us to work hard, but someone may not benefit you, but to like learn from you. But I guess it's too much different between peoples. So mentors always can play a role like light up people's or colleagues' mind or emotion. But some colleagues just work for themselves. They are not benefit others.
So when I was a boy, I remember there was a kid in my neighborhood that my mom always said, "You stay away from that boy. He's not a good boy." Right? So she would tell me, "He's a bad influence." She kept telling me, "He's a bad influence. I don't want you to play with him because he's a bad influence. So stay away from the bad kids because they're a bad influence," right? That's what you're told. But guess what?
Yeah.
Guess what, everybody? That works two ways. So what that means is my mother told me, don't stay around that kid because he's bad. And maybe he'll be bad and then you'll be bad because he was bad, right? But guess what? It works the other way too. So if I don't spend any time with him, then maybe he will never be good. Right? So when you're
Wow,
when
Teacher
you're
Mark, you are really a mentor regarding this.
well, I'm saying that this was something I learned when I was a kid. I remember thinking that. I remember thinking like that's not fair to that kid. That kid, okay, so maybe he's bad. Maybe he does some bad things. Maybe he's not, maybe he has a hard life. Maybe things are difficult for him. You don't know, but you're just telling me stay away from him because he might make me bad? But what about why can't I make him good? Influence works both ways, right?
Yeah.
So I try to be a good influence on people as much as I can, you know? And just because I meet somebody bad doesn't mean that I should walk away, because maybe I'm the first good person they've ever met. Maybe. Maybe I'm the first person who's ever given them a chance. You know? So if you walk around in this world and everywhere you go, you try to say that you only want to be around people who are good, then you're also saying that you're not going to help the people who are bad.
Yeah, I guess I changed my mind now. I guess even some coworkers or colleagues they play a negative role in my career. I think I should play a role which can have a um, like positive
Yeah.
emotion impact.
If you're saying, these people bring me down, okay, what do you do to bring them up?
Yeah. I guess so. So yeah, you already changed my mind towards these negative thinking towards like toxic relationships
Yeah,
with
it's a
colleagues.
it's a tricky thing because like I said, on the one hand, I told you surround yourself with people who are better than you because they will make you good. They'll encourage you to want to be better. So yes, you should surround yourself with people who are better than you. But you should also look for where you can be inspiring to someone else. Where can you help someone else? Right? So they're helping you to inspire you. Who are you helping? Who are you inspiring? Right?
Yeah.
If somebody else is inspiring you, that's great. But now what are you doing to inspire the other people below you? You know?
Yeah.
So
Thanks for your advice.
you're welcome, Homer. I like your questions. You're curious, and this is so important. Curiosity is one of the most important skills a human can have. You have to keep asking questions and keep wondering. And the more you wonder, the more you will learn. All right? Because all of these things that I am saying, all of these things are things that anybody can know. And the only reason why I do is because I thought about it. So all you have to do is think about it and you'll find the same answers that I did. Okay? So Homer, I'm going to let you go because it's been almost 3 hours, but it's been great to talk to you again. And man, you also, it's late. You got to get some sleep, man.
Yeah, thanks for your time. Yes, tonight I'm just really happy that I talked to you again, and every time I have the chance to talk to you, I get inspired. Really.
I'm glad to hear that.
Thank you.
All right. Well, Homer, good luck to you. Get some sleep, and I'll see you next time, okay?
Okay, bye for now.
Bye-bye. Okay. Okay. And Knight, I'm sorry I didn't answer your question, but wait a minute. All right. You're asking a lot of questions. Just one question. I'm pretty sure you don't know Alexander, but I'm pretty sure I Like Benjamin is on one of... Okay, I don't know either of them, so I'm not sure who you're talking about. But, do you know Ella Fitzgerald? Do you know Frank Sinatra? Do you know Pavarotti? Do you know, Chet Baker? Do you know Paul Simon? Do you know, what's her name? There are a lot of singers that you don't know. Keep listening. Who's the most overrated music of all time? I don't know. You love poetry, but you really look forward to... Would I mention something in American YouTube? Oh, I don't know. I don't know about that. I can't tell you. I don't know. I can't tell you what I don't know. Okay? And Audrey, what do I think of Justin Bieber? I'm not a big fan. To be honest, I just feel sorry for that kid. I feel sorry for Justin Bieber. I think Justin Bieber would have had a better life if he just would have been a normal kid. And yeah, I think that most of Justin Bieber's problems in life right now were all caused by his popularity and fame. He didn't need any of that. He didn't. He didn't. Okay. Knight, I'm sorry. I can't, off the top of my head, I can't tell you about poets. I'm sorry. I can't. I don't know. Do some research and find some. Okay? I have some poetry that I like, but I don't know every poet. All right? Do I have some ideas or YouTube people who I can follow to get advice to install your own school? Rebecca, I don't really know. Rebecca, maybe I would say watch me, okay? If you're interested in starting a school, then I think there are some ideas that you should hear that I teach that most traditional schools don't. Okay? So if you want to have something that's different that might be better, watch, hear, and listen to my ideas, and then start making notes about how could I create a system with these ideas. Okay? And if you want to improve your writing skills, there is no better way than ChatGPT or AI. It's very easy to improve your writing skills today. Go to ChatGPT and say, I suck at writing. Please help me. It will. Tell ChatGPT that you are not good. Tell ChatGPT that you want to improve your writing. And then tell ChatGPT, please ask me some questions about what my goals are. Tell ChatGPT to ask you some questions about your learning goals. What do you want? Oh, I want to get a band 8 score on the IELTS. I want to be able to play with my friends playing video games in English. I want to be able to travel to America and use English. So tell it what your goals are and tell it what you want and then tell it you can't and it will. All right? Okay, and may you ask me an English question? Yes, you may. That's what we're here for. But you better do it fast because I'm going to leave soon. I've been here for 3 hours already today. Okay? Thank you, Audrey. Before I go, I will say one more thing. I'm going to tell you my mantra. My mantra for learning, my mantra for being a good human being. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready to hear my mantra of how to be a good human? Please listen. I am a student first. I am always learning. I do not know everything. I am here to understand. I listen before I speak, and I think before I answer. I follow the words, not the ego. I seek clarity, not control. My mind is not finished. It has been shaped over time. What is tangled, I will work to untangle. What is unclear, I will work to understand. I take responsibility for my growth. No one can do this work for me. If I am wrong, I will learn. If I am right, I will stay humble. I build my mind before my voice. I strengthen my thinking to strengthen my language. The clearer I am inside, the clearer the world becomes. And as I improve myself, I improve what I can give to others. I respect the process. I respect the work. Step by step, I become better. This is my responsibility. If you like that, then you should copy it from my moments and you should say it every day. Okay? That is my mantra on how to be a good human. Good humans are learning every day. Okay? The harder the math questions are, the harder it is to solve them. Is it also okay to say the harder they're to solve? Kevin, yes and no. When you use a contraction like there in the middle of that, it doesn't sound right. Because you want to say they are, because it's the comparative form. Okay? So you're saying if blah, 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 then blah, 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 kind of, right? It's like almost like an if-then kind of a thing, right? So the harder they are to solve, right? The harder they are, not the harder they're to solve. That's weird, okay? So you can say it just without the contraction, okay? All right, Esther. Yes, thank you for watching, Esther. Thank you very much. And again, if you guys are new, you need to get my file. Here is my file. If you don't know who I am, then get this file. Everything you need to know about me is right here. Please get the file, okay? Copy it and paste it into your browser, and it should open, okay? If you want to know my schedule, get the file. If you want to know my website and my YouTube and my blog, get the file. If you want to know who is this guy and what is he doing, get the file. Okay? There are 4 free articles in there to help you. 4 articles that I gave you about English. Get the file, get the file, get the file. Okay? Okay, and I must go, but have a good morning, have a good afternoon, have a good evening wherever you live in the world, and come back and see me again sometime, okay? All right, thanks, guys. Bye.